This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And welcome back, everybody. She helps licensed massage therapists further their career, but also make a difference in our aging population. Yes, we're getting older, and that segment of our population is huge right now and very much unsupported when it comes to massage therapy. She has a company that can train licensed massage therapists for massage on the geriatric community. So we're going to dig back into that. She is the woman behind Daybreak Geriatric Massage Institute, and it's Dawn Castiglione back with us today. How are you doing?
Just fine. Thank you, Steve. How are you?
Wishing you happy birthday today.
Oh, thank you.
Wow. What's it
Thank
feel like to
you.
be 40?
Thank you so much for that. Yeah, it feels great at any age. I never really thought a number would matter. I think the only one that really did was 30 way back when, because you're no longer in your 20s. You know, I have to figure out what to do with as a grown up, I guess. What am I going to be when I grow up?
Well, I just recently read polls, study, research that many of us haven't hit adulthood until we're 33.
Hmm.
And I always thought
Wow.
I've always heard it was like 25 around there, but apparently not. We're not fully in the adult mode until 33. But I got you on that. Like, passing certain, 40, 50, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just a blur. It's how you
It's
feel, you know?
That's right, is how you feel. Yeah. And I think that I don't know, for a while I thought we grow up more quickly these days because you have to be sort of, streetwise or, you know, public smart or whatever. But really, they taught more responsibility and discipline in older days. And so, yeah, so now it's like, do I trust my child with, this decision, that decision at age 20? Whereas long ago, folks are having a whole family by age 25 and
Yeah.
working the farm or whatever.
I know we pivoted here for a moment, but I got you on that. And I look back to like the early 1900s, late 1800s, and I have a certain affinity. And I don't know what it is where life seemed to be more simple.
Mm.
Um, it's just something there that life has changed, and that's all good. But yeah, certainly, the way we learn is very different than they did back in the day. As you look back
Mhm.
at that. So we've never talked about the options for somebody once they are certified for massage for the geriatric community, where you can go. A lot of times, a lot of
Mm.
us think it's going to be at a geriatric facility and such, but it's way bigger than that, right?
It is a lot bigger than that, which is exciting because this modality will draw more people once they realize that the sky's the limit on where they can take these skills. Yes, the population tends to be older in years. However, we did, talk about earlier how younger folks are getting degenerative conditions that, take root in their bodies. And so really all of these precautions and skills are applicable to any age, truly, teenagers with diabetics all the way up to the most frail elderly. So when you look at that, you say, okay, now wait a minute. I'm not just going to plant myself in an assisted living facility
Hmm.
and only serve those folks. And some people love that. And that's where I started in assisted living.
Oh,
And it's a nice place to start, really, because you're sort of plugged into a system that's already working well there. There, a nurse station you could ask a question to. There's activity directors who can promote you and say, oh, so and so is here on Thursdays for a massage. And so it's a nice family to plug into at first. But then if you prefer to take on other locations, there are far more options. So we have um, skilled nursing facilities where people are either rehabbing after a surgery or an illness. And in that case, the therapist would be going, room to room with different clients, perhaps every time they go there. Someone rehabs after a hip surgery or something, and then somebody else is in that room next week. And so it's a nice variety of clients if that's your forte. Um, if you would prefer to form lasting relationships with your clients and you just tend to nurture a lot, assisted living or even a board and care facility, which is a smaller, usually someone's house that they convert into a care home. And there are usually between 5 and 6 beds in that home. And then you have a smaller number of people to work with, but often you'll work with them several times a week. And it's just whatever your taste is for the work day itself. It's out there for you. And there are hospitals, memory care units. Some folks like to just say, okay, I'm only going to deal with dementia and Alzheimer's. Okay, so let's look up all the memory care places near me and see if they might benefit from, a little bit of TLC for their residents there. And that's a whole other science, dealing with Alzheimer's and dementia. We go into that a lot in level 2 of our classes. And it's a special skill and a special calling, really, to spend that quality time with them and to watch for what they're reacting to positively one day that they may react to negatively the next, and so forth. And then we've got, okay, so that's like all the stuff in the middle of the spectrum. On this end of the spectrum, we have senior centers, like down in the center of town where folks go to sign up for a bus trip to the casino or to a play, or they
Sure.
play cards once a week or take watercolor classes, and you could actually be there, and oh my gosh, all the fun seniors who come down there and they're laughing and happy, and they could sign up on a list during the whole week, and then you show up and they're in heaven. It's massage day at the senior center. So
Even libraries now offer that too. Support for
oh,
seniors.
nice.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, I get the things come in the mail all the time. Or the a short booklet comes from the library and they do the
Oh
same
yeah.
kind of trips. And so imagine if that was connected to it. Is should we assume that a lot of the I don't want to say senior centers, the more the places for geriatric community, that they are doing massage, or many of them aren't. This is like vastly untapped.
It is vastly untapped. And I feel like when I started, this is a good example of that. When I started geriatric practice in my massage field, I found that the person to contact at these places was the activities director. And it seems so not official and important if you're just an activity, you know, rather than, a medical benefit to them, really a health benefit. And so nowadays, you're starting to see that places will have what's called a wellness director. And they are
Mm.
in charge of, chair exercises, maybe some swimming or, weights and so forth like that. So they're more geared toward the health and not just the entertainment of the residents. And so nowadays we're beginning to see that there's a wellness director we can talk to see if the facility or the location is interested in having you come on board. So there is a definite difference. However, I still feel like the facilities are kind of trying to appeal to the children of the potential residents and saying we offer this and we offer that and we offer this, and Sunday brunch for the family with an ice sculpture and whatever. And so they're not maybe fully educated in the enormous physical benefits and emotional benefits for their residents that could come in along with massage.
Well, I hear what you're saying there, where they image it. Well, we do these trips to the city, and we have this going on, and whatever the activity is, well, it looks great and fun. Yes, you need that, but there's also the therapeutic side of things, and where that looks all sexy, if you will, to somebody making a decision on a center. And certainly, if you're the child or children of somebody older, a lot of times you're tasked with making that decision. Mom, this place seems reasonable. I checked into it. Um,
Right.
maybe this is left off where it should be in the forefront. And we've talked about that before. The endless amazing benefits, not only just massage, but geriatric massage. Ever since we met, Dawn, I got to tell you, I've talked to people about even lymphatic fluids and things like all of that within somebody who's older, that
Right.
it's stagnant because the only way to move it is if you move. And they're not moving like they did when they were younger. So
True.
there's the movement that comes from the massage.
True. Very true. And you said that they're trying to kind of appeal, in a maybe a sexy way or a we have more amenities than the
Yeah.
place down the road kind of a way. And that's wonderful. It's kind of a step in the right direction for us, those of us, like massage therapists, physical therapists, the chair exercise people, the people who monitor the gym, that we have a category devoted to health and wellness of
Yes.
these residents rather than just entertainment. So it's nice that they now probably have a room with a massage table in it.
Mm.
And when I started, not only was there no equipment there, but there was no space for me, really. And so they said, well, we can start you off in like apartment B 311. Would that be okay? I'm like, yeah, sure. You can put me in an empty apartment. That means there was a bathroom there, which is wonderful, for the clients and just to have running water nearby. But the problem with that was that that apartment got rented out soon and they had to move me to a different one. And I didn't care about that. I'm happy to move my equipment wherever they can house me. But the residents were saying, well, last week you were in this wing and now you're
Mm.
on the other floor in that wing. So the director quickly realized we need to find a home base for this, this important service. So they moved me down to the hair salon, nail salon kind of location of the building at least, and gave me a little private area. So, I
I'm
mean,
no expert, but I have to believe older folks are very much creatures of habit. And
mhm,
when things keep changing,
yes.
it just gets uncomfortable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the
Mm.
location of the room is a big deal and it might scare them away. Like, this is too
Yeah.
much hassle. I'm not going to do this every week.
Yep.
And then also, being victims of habit or just creatures of habit, I should say. I'm a victim of habit. Creatures of habit, they also like their appointment on the same day at the same time every
Yep.
week
Yep.
because they plan around it, especially once they develop a bond with you. They're looking forward to.
100%. And
Yeah.
and learning from my mom, uh, that's their day.
Yes.
So where, we when you're younger, you got so much going on. It's like, yeah, I'll get that done. I'll get that done. This is the
Hmm.
focal point. It's Tuesday. I know I get my massage with Dawn. It's happening at 11 a.m. I've been thinking
Right.
about it since Monday, actually.
Yeah.
And that's the highlight of my day. And I have a couple of things around it. We're going to play mahjong over here with Margie or whatever it might be. But it's a
Yes.
big deal. So there needs to be that
Hmm.
consistency. But the point here is these centers, these facilities need to realize that this is so important. And also the many of them are doing it, but we also need to have people to do it. I want to ask you, Dawn, what should somebody be considering if they're a licensed massage therapist, but in their mind they're like, I want to help, I want to make a difference. I'm tired of the the salon experience and situation where nothing wrong with that, but it's not the same. But maybe they have an aversion to a senior community. Like they're fragile. I'm a little concerned about that. Um, what's your advice? What do you want that licensed massage therapist to know?
Well, here's a good angle. As far as your own introduction as the therapist, to answer your question, if you're a little concerned, um, even after you've taken this coursework, obviously, if you're concerned before, take the coursework and learn how we can be
Mhm.
careful and
Point.
safe, but still very effective. But after the coursework, if you're still a little gun shy to sort of make your way into one of those locations, I would suggest two things. One would be to schedule yourself as a presenter and just say, do you have, a gathering, a resident meeting, or any kind of gathering where a lot of folks are there? And maybe you
Hmm.
could give me 15, 20 minutes of your time there during that meeting or whatever to just introduce them, to what it is that I do and how it can benefit them. And that way
Hmm.
you're establishing relationships with some of those residents and presenting yourself as the person who really does care about them and their well-being. And you have some sort of a bond before you even attempt to say, I'd like to be your massage therapist here. Just as an education activity, it's a nice introduction.
Wow. Well, first and foremost, taking the course will, I'm sure, alleviate some of those concerns.
Absolutely.
You know, you're a massage therapist. You're halfway there in my mind, but then taking the course will make you feel more comfortable, understand what the concerns might be, learn from you. Uh, and let's go back to this can be done virtually, which blows my mind. As long as you have a table and
Yeah.
a participant, uh,
Mhm.
how long does it take typically?
Okay, well, there are two levels. There's a level one and a level two class. Each of them are 18 units of continuing education, which means it's an 18-hour class. So we have Friday evenings, about 3 hours of time. And again, that's virtual, the whole thing on a Zoom connection.
Hmm.
And we do a lot of theor a lot of studying of the theories and the pathologies, some illnesses, things to watch out for in older folks who don't have any illness, but still need special consideration. So we talk a lot of details about that on Friday night. And then on Saturday and Sunday, it's hands on. We have a session in the morning on Saturday with their volunteer on their table with their video pointing at the table so that that we can view what they're doing. I can answer questions they might have, critique a certain way they're handling something, a limb or whatever, or the speed or the fluidity at which they're administering the strokes. And so it's a really intensive hands-on one-on-one kind of attention with a
Mm.
limited class size of between 4 and 6 students. So
Wow.
it's an intimate weekend. And then we do again on Sunday. We've got the volunteer Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, and Sunday afternoon. And and Sunday morning, we actually have a small marketing segment for those who really wish to dedicate their career to this segment of the population rather than just
Wow.
adding valuable tools to their, current set. And so that's kind of neat too, because then when you go home from your level one class, you say, oh, you don't go home and say, what do I do now? You go home and say, okay, I know exactly what to do. 1, 2, 3, if I want to get my name out there.
Wow. This is full approach. I mean, everything you need to know
Mhm.
to move your career forward. I'm going to ask you this question a little deeper. You personally, what do you get from helping this community through massage? What does it feel like for you? What's your reward? What drives you?
Well, we discussed earlier that my grandmothers really were a huge influence in my childhood and gave me a sense of self and a sense of worth. And I feel as though if I could provide that sense or that feeling to someone who is dealing with frustrations and fears and losses in their life, that I could make a difference in the world, or at least wake up feeling I have a purpose, uh, with a passion behind it. And so for people who really want to make a difference in the world, just one moment at a time, this is ideal. And each client is different, each session is different, and especially with those with dementia or Alzheimer's, you can make quite a difference in their life just by showing up and sharing your gifts. And then just learning how to do that in a safe way is what the education is all about.
Mm. Do you get that personal satisfaction, that warm, fuzzy feel inside when you help somebody and you made that connection with them? And maybe they've got some pain, bursitis, a little something going on there. And they look at you after all these years they've been around and they say to you, thank you. Like, oh, my arm feels better. And thank you for spending some time at the very base level, touch, which is therapeutic and mandatory for all of us. Do you get that warm feeling inside like, I made a difference?
I do. I really do. And for a lot of folks, it's not always so easy to relate to their children in that way. We all know that sometimes it's just hard to take um, I don't know, certain words of wisdom or a hug. Even some families are not real touchy feely, but
Mhm.
then they're yearning for that human touch, and I can come in and provide it without any threat
Yep.
or strings attached or
Yep.
whatever that
Yep.
that brings discomfort in families.
Yeah. That emotional connection within family. Um, but again, scientifically proven, touch is therapeutic. We need it. Like, and I
Mhm.
forget the number that we should have 8 hugs a day. And that goes, yeah, it's needed, and especially for this community. And you know what? I have to say, they deserve it. You know, they deserve people like you and the people that you train. How do we do this? How do we connect with you, Dawn? If somebody's thinking about maybe making a change as a massage therapist.
Well, we have a very descriptive website that's easy to navigate. We
Mm.
have all of the details about the curriculum and the 2 levels of education. We have a contact us page, so you can just, click on contact us, type in your message, and I will call you back. And we can figure out how to do this together. There are some descriptions in addition to the curriculum of the various stages of senior life, if you will, or degenerative illness life. So you can kind of get a nice grasp just by perusing the website. There's even a page with photos of graduating classes, 4 to 6 people or more in the past when we were all live. And we still do
Mm.
have in-person classes as
Sure.
well. But yeah, it's an easy website to navigate. So just reach out and you can register online for the class and not even call if you know already, I want to do this. So it's nice and easy and very informative.
And what's the website?
It is daybreak-massage.com.
What's vastly different here is it's a personal, pun intended, or maybe not, touch that you provide. I need to take a course for something. I'm putting it off because it's just, I'm going to click in. I got to motivate myself. I got to, this is people connecting with people
Mhm.
for a wonderful outcome. Thank you for being here today. You deserve a massage. It's your birthday, at the very least.
Okay, sign me up.
Yeah, there we go. Well, I have no skills. I need to take class. Um, Thank you for all that you offer and for bringing this to our attention. And I appreciate it. We'll catch up soon.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.